Welcome to Bespoke Diaries. Today's article is on The Road to Success Number 2, by Dr. Dragan Jovanov, scientist, educator, author, speaker, Macedonia. Dragan was disappointed with classical medicine and started researching phytomedicine, phytotherapy and phytonutrients scientifically. For a long time after his mother's death, he could not recover emotionally. He was improving, he started helping people, he started treating them, and he felt like a mission. People bless you, you see happy faces, you have helped them. The feeling is wonderful, his soul is broken, and by helping people, he thinks that the pain he had was partly healed by his mother's death. But to do all this, he put God's energy first and foremost. In 11 years Dragan has healed, helped and advised over 30,000 people from Macedonia, the Balkans, Europe and the world. His motto was, first, put God's energy first. Give first place to the divine energy in everything you do. Everything you think he has achieved, everything you see in him, everything you think he has, and he has a lot behind him, it's all thanks to God's mercy. Understand that it is simply a gift from God. That divine energy protects him, guides him, and corrects him. All the time he clings to the divine energy for everything in life. That divine energy keeps him from being carried away by the storm. Dragan was not always with that energy of God, but she never left him. So stick to it for everything you do. If you want to do what you think he has done, then do it, but stick to that divine energy. No matter how much you gain in life, you will not take anything to the grave. It doesn't matter how much you have, it matters what you have and how you store it or what you do with it. We all have different talents. The best thing he has ever done in this world is to help people. Why is that selfish? Because from that pleasure, goodness will flood your soul. It's a good feeling because he has helped people stay healthy, and there's no better feeling than that. That shows real success. Always say to God's energy, thank you for the blessing, thank you for the mercy, thank you for understanding, thank you for the joy, thank you for the wisdom, thank you for the love, thank you for the meekness, thank you for the tenderness, thank you for the serenity. Thank God in advance for what is already yours. That is rule number 1 in his life, and that is one of the reasons he is here today. Thank yourself in advance for everything that belongs to you, and God's energy will send it all to you because you already have it in you. The real thing in your heart and soul is the inner energy with which you want to help people. You can have everything you want in life. So look for it and try to get it. Until then, give a hand to someone who has not yet succeeded in their goals. Let everyone help everyone. Don't just fight to survive, fight for your life. To leave Trogar in the news. He is relaxing his life here, says Dragan. There is a lot to write about, but there will be opportunities. 1 year after his mother's death, his best friend died at the age of 21 of a heart attack. He died at college. After a few years, his grandmother Simka, who lost her child, died and stood behind us and sacrificed herself. Hard, too hard. As the years went by, almost all his relatives died, some of my friends, and professors. He was left alone with his sister and father, and of course with his aunt, hidden from pain. His father tortured a man in childhood, left him an orphan, as well as his mother, tortured, orphaned, and him and his sister orphans. Our life has become hell. His father has redundancy, and he had 6 years until retirement. He first worked as a volunteer demonstrator, 2010 to 2011, at the Faculty of Agricultural Sciences and Food in Skopje. The request of Professor Yugoslav Zibrowski, who after he died of a heart attack a few years ago, twice submitted a request to work with documents. As a demonstrator at the Faculty of Minimum Income, he was rejected because he did not support the then policies of the country in which he was born. So he went without money to the faculty. He taught until the professor left before retirement at the Faculty of Environmental Resource Management, at MIT University in Skopje. There he called him to be his assistant. It was his first work experience. He speaks where he will be registered and his contributions and so on will flow. Then he was an assistant and secretary of the Faculty of Management of Environmental Resources and secretariat and assistant of the Faculty of Tourism at MIT University in Skopje. He was overjoyed. He said finally the work started. Oh, how the months passed. The first 4 months they didn't give us a salary, then they were late with a salary. We worked as assistants for the minimum income we received every other month, so you can imagine if you can really survive on such a way. Those were difficult years, too hard, but we did not give up, nor did we complain to anyone, nor did anyone call to help us, to ask how we were, except that they envied our poverty and made obstacles and obstructions to our friends and enemies. Dragan's sister also didn't work. She was tormented after his mother's death. She took care of him, and she cooked at home to gather us all, so we were left alone in that survival struggle. But we never gave up. We achieved everything on our own, and together, and, of course, each of us individually. His aunt, also a tormented woman, unemployed for many years, worked to please everyone, leaving them without a piece of bread. The pain was even greater, but again none of us gave up. We said we would fight to the last breath. This must stop once it hurts, and finally, things will go in the right direction. Plus we brought great pain and sorrow in our souls because we lost the dearest people in our lives who will never return, but will they live forever in our hearts and minds. After all this, Dragan started helping people with cancer, syndromes and other serious illnesses, going from city to city, village to help them. He will help his people in Macedonia, of course in the Balkans, Europe and in the world. They looked for him from everywhere. At the beginning when he started researching medicinal plants, so to speak, they didn't believe him. That is, he was a child to do this, they said so, even greats and professors, but he never gave up. He said he would go all the way until he won and everything would be as it should be. After all this, a moment came when they asked for help from the MPs in the assembly. A friend of his from where he lived in his neighborhood, knowing our whole life story, called him directly to work on a project that lasted 3 years, supported by the Swiss embassy, of course for minimal income. But, at that moment, that money was really too big. They also called him to be a coach in the basketball club MZT Skopje. Somehow too many things were collected, but for everything he managed to bring home bread to have his, not to ask for money from his father, in order not to worry, did not have the opportunity to give it to him, and if he wanted to, he did not have it. He did not have it from where, he did not work. And so this Golgotha lasted for about 3 years, with a delay in salaries from all positions, but he succeeded. He was giving God slowly but surely, painstakingly, painfully, but surely things started to settle down a bit. And when he thought everything was sorted out with all these jobs, it was a valley again. Things started to go downhill. For political reasons he left, and we were left with those minimal irregular incomes from MIT University that he took every 3 months. Terribly painful again, because in our country, in the Republic of Macedonia, even in the Balkans, quality is not valued, or very rarely can anyone honestly assess that you are quality and that you want to help, unless you have an uncle bishop, as the old people would say, and then you can prosper in everything you can imagine. In the Republic of Macedonia and in the Balkans. After all this, in the end, despite the pain, he managed to keep going, but he learned too much, he improved too much, he worked too hard, he struggled too much, and he won. If you change the way you look at things, things will change. Dragan will continue the third part of his story in the next article. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Do leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For similar type of article, please reach us at contact@thebespokediaries.com, or you can visit our website www.thebespokediaries.com.